Coach Elisa here. I wanted to jump on here and talk to you about how you can begin to find the contradiction in written form as far as discerning someone who is being honest and someone who is lying. Not just in the spoken form, but I want to focus today on the written form and help you to identify those contradictions. So I have two examples. These happen to both be from women, written things from women that I have dealt with. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. Okay, this woman says, "Could use lots of prayers, please. Trying to recover and be positive, but last couple days have been very hard. I need some godly love and support. My kids and I have been on protected custody because of my ex. We had a police officer patrol our area last night because our caseworker was nervous due to him being escalated about not getting our address still. I didn't want to tell the kids because they get upset, and today I get served with papers again, requesting for any and all financial information for me for the last 2 years with current address information. So on protected custody, but now served with papers to supply this info. My kids and I really have been trying to hold our head up and just find some peace for new beginnings. But a 21-year relationship with an abusive, revengeful ex, I don't know if that will ever happen for us. Any and all prayers, please." Okay, let's take a closer look at this, because from the outside looking in, most of us would see that this is apparently a woman who has fled a terribly abusive man who is obviously also physically abusive. She's in hiding, she's in protected custody, and now she just wants some peace. She's a victim and she just wants some peace away from this abusive, revengeful man. Let's go back up here too. We had a police officer patrol our area last night because our caseworker was nervous due to him being escalated about not getting our address still. There is the contradiction. If the ex doesn't have the address, there is no need for a police officer to patrol the area. Do you see the contradiction? That's a lie. It's a contradiction, and she's lying. And she's not only lying about that, but she's lying about her ex being abusive, and she is lying about protecting her children. She had no qualms throwing her ex under the bus and completely turning her children against him. And if she were in protected custody, certainly protective custody would prevent her, or it wouldn't make it necessary for her to give current address information. So that's another contradiction. Protected custody would protect her legally from having to supply that information. She would not be required to supply that information. So that is our first example of contradiction in written text, and that brings us to our second one. Now this woman, thank you so much for not only hearing me, but actually taking action to find the truth. He is blocked everywhere. I got restraining order a year ago and changed my whole life, even my hair color, car, and home. My problem is seeing and absorbing his comments everywhere. I'm taking that 1 hour at a time, not looking. I got on my knees for the first time in a long time and begged God for the will to help to keep going and the strength and wisdom to get me going. This is not easy. I lost everything as if he was some sort of a drug. Crazy. Okay, a little backstory on this. This is someone who contacted me over my email, and she came at me very aggressively. She told me that she was planning to sue her ex for slander, and that I was basically aiding him in further abusing her because I was sharing some of his things that he had on his social media to my social media. And so she came at me very aggressively, and I responded and said, I told her good luck with her lawsuit. From my experience, it's very difficult to prove slander, And I just reassured her that, I'm on the internet and I don't have a way to discern who is the perpetrator and who is the victim. And this was her response. So when she responded to me and this was her message, right then I knew who the victim was and who the perpetrator was, because let's go back here. She says up in here, he is blocked everywhere. She says, he is blocked everywhere. And then later she says, my problem is seeing and absorbing his comments everywhere. Guys, back the truck up. That's a contradiction. That is when I knew she was lying. You cannot have someone blocked everywhere and at the same time see and absorb their comments everywhere. It doesn't make sense. It's a lie. So when you are seeing these things on people's social media sites, keep this in mind so that you can discern who the real victim is and who the perpetrator is, so that you don't get sucked into a cycle of continuing to abuse someone or aiding these sick people in continuing to abuse someone.